I stared at the empty folder on my desk and whispered, "Where is it?" My hands shook as I opened the drawer again, knowing the answer wouldn't change. My college fund, the money I saved from late shifts, summer jobs, and every spare dollar, was gone. When I walked into the living room, Linda sat on the couch like nothing had happened. "Did you take it?" I asked. She didn't even look up. "Take what, Ethan?" she said. "My college fund," I said. "All of it." She sighed like I annoyed her. "I used it for Liam and Ava. They needed the leadership program more than you. More than me." I repeated. It was my future. Linda finally glanced at me. "You'll be fine. You're always so dramatic." "I worked for that money. For years." She shrugged. "And my kids needed it now. You're older. You should learn to sacrifice." I stared at her. "You mean sacrifice because I'm not your real son, right?" She didn't deny it. "Don't twist my words," she said. "I did what any mother would do." "You're not my mother," I said. "You never tried to be." She waved her hand. "Stop acting like a victim. You're 18. Move on." I turned to my dad, hoping he'd step in. "Dad, say something. You knew how hard I worked." He looked down at his hands. "Ethan, maybe we can talk about this later." "Later?" I said. "My fund is gone now." Linda stood up. "Enough. This topic is closed." I laughed bitterly. "Of course it is. You won, right?" "Watch your tone," she snapped. "I can't stay in this house," I said. Dad finally looked at me, but he didn't move. "Please don't make this harder," he whispered. "I'm making it harder?" I asked. "You let her take everything I saved." Dad opened his mouth, then closed it. Linda folded her arms. "I invested it in the family," she said. "Not in me," I answered. "Guess I was never part of it." She rolled her eyes. "If you're going to throw a tantrum, do it outside." Something snapped inside me. "Fine," I said. "I'll go." Dad stepped forward, then froze when Linda glared at him. I stared at him one last time. He didn't fight for me. I walked to my room and grabbed my backpack. "Are you really leaving?" Dad asked from the doorway. "Yes," I said. "There's nothing here for me." He rubbed his forehead. "Ethan, maybe things will get better." "They won't," I said. "Not with her here." Linda shouted from the hall, "If he wants to leave, let him. He'll come crawling back." "I won't," I said, zipping my bag. Dad reached out like he wanted to stop me, but his hand fell. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I wish that mattered," I replied. I walked past the kitchen, where Linda leaned against the counter. "Leaving without saying goodbye to the family," she said. "I don't owe you a goodbye," I said. She smirked. "You think you're so grown now. Life will humble you." "You already tried," I said. "I'm still standing." "You were always ungrateful," she said. "And you were always cruel." She stepped closer. "Remember, Ethan, you're nothing without us." I shook my head. "I think you're scared I'll become something without you." Her jaw tightened, but she said nothing as I walked out the door. It was dark outside, and the cold air hit me as soon as I stepped onto the porch. My chest hurt, but my mind felt clear. Dad stood inside the doorway, watching me but not stepping out. "Ethan," he said softly. "Please stay." "Tell her to give the money back," I said. His eyes dropped. He couldn't. That was my answer. "Goodbye, Dad," I said. He didn't respond. Linda pulled him back inside like she owned him. The door closed, and I stood alone under the porch light. "I'll never come back here," I whispered. I walked down the street with only my backpack and whatever pride I had left. My phone buzzed with a message from Caleb. "You okay?" I typed back, "No. But I will be." When I reached the corner, I looked back once. The house was dark, silent, and small in the distance. It felt like a place I had already left years ago. "They took my money," I whispered, "but not my future." My feet kept moving. I didn't know where I would sleep, but I knew one thing for sure, I would never depend on them again, not ever again. I spent the night on Mrs. Walter's porch with my backpack as a pillow. When the sun came up, the door opened, and she gasped. "Ethan? Honey, why are you out here?" "I didn't have anywhere else to go," I said, sitting up. She stepped closer. "Did something happen at home?" "Yeah. They made sure I wasn't part of it anymore." She frowned. "Come inside. You look frozen." "I can't," I said. "I just needed a place to think." "You should let someone help you," she whispered. "I don't even know where to start." Before she could answer, my phone rang. It was Ms. Carter. "Ethan," she said as soon as I picked up. "Mrs. Walters called me." "Are you safe?" "I guess," I said. "Where are you?" "Still on her porch." "Stay there. I'm coming." When she arrived, she knelt beside me. "Talk to me," she said. My stepmom took my college fund, I said. All of it. Dad didn't stop her. Her eyes softened. Ethan, why didn't you call me sooner? Because I didn't want to sound weak. She shook her head. Getting help isn't weakness. I slept out here, I said quietly. I know. And you won't again. What choice do I have? A lot more than you think, she said. Come with me. We drove to school, where she led me into her office. We're filing a report, she said. Will it actually do anything? It'll start a trail. And you deserve that. I exhaled. Okay. What do you need me to say? The truth, she replied. Just the truth. I told her everything, Linda using my fund for her kids, my dad staying silent, getting kicked out without a second thought. When I finished, she typed the last note and leaned back. You handled something no kid should ever face, she said. I don't know if I handled it, I said. I just survived it. That's handling it. There was a knock on the door. Caleb walked in and immediately rushed to me. Dude, what happened? Your text scared me. I shrugged. My life exploded. He sat beside me. Tell me what they did. I repeated everything, slower this time. Caleb clenched his fists. They kicked you out? Seriously? Yeah. And you slept outside? I didn't have anywhere else. Bro, you should have come to my place. I didn't want to be a burden. You're my best friend. You're never a burden. Ms. Carter smiled faintly. I like that he has you, she said. Caleb nodded. Yeah, he has me. Always. She cleared her throat. I filed the report. Now we need to talk about housing. Housing? I asked. Yes. You can't go back home, right? No, I said. Not unless they magically grow hearts. So we'll place you in emergency student housing until something long-term opens up. I blinked. Like, I'll have an actual bed? Yes, Ethan, she said softly. A bed. A door you can close. Safety. I rubbed my eyes. That sounds unreal. It's real, she said. And you deserve it. Caleb nudged me. See? Things are already getting better. I don't know if better is the word, I said. Fine, he replied. Less garbage. We'll get to better. Ms. Carter printed forms. You'll also qualify for emergency scholarship funds. And there are new grants coming up next week. I'll help you apply. Why are you being so nice to me? I asked. She paused. Because you're worth helping, Ethan. My throat tightened. Thank you, I said. Caleb slapped my shoulder. Dude, we're gonna rebuild everything. You'll see. I hope so. No hope, he said. We're doing it. Ms. Carter handed me a set of keys. This is for the temporary unit. It's small and plain, but it's yours. I stared at them. My own place? Yes, she said. You earned it by surviving something cruel. We drove to the housing building together. When I opened the door to the tiny room, I whispered, it's really mine. Caleb laughed. Yeah, man. Look, you even get a desk. And a mattress, I said, touching it. Ms. Carter stepped inside. You can breathe here. I haven't breathed in a long time, I admitted. Caleb leaned against the wall. So what now? I work, I said. I study. I build a life without them. And I'm with you, he replied. Every step. Ms. Carter nodded. You're not alone anymore. I sat on the edge of the bed and looked at both of them. Thank you, I said. Really? Caleb grinned. Promise me something, Ethan. What? That you'll never let Linda crush you again. I tightened my grip on the keys. I won't, I said. Not ever. College felt like a second life, one where no one knew what I had run from. On my first day, Caleb nudged me and said, You ready to build something real? I don't know, I said. But I have to try. You will, he replied. You always do. Classes were hard, and my part-time jobs were harder. After a shift, Caleb would meet me at the library. You look dead, he'd say. I'm fine, I always answered. You don't sleep. I sleep enough. He'd shake his head. Liar. Maybe, I'd say, but this is the only way forward. One night he slid his laptop toward me. What if we build our own app? I blinked. Seriously? Yeah. Something simple, something students actually need. What would we even make? We'll figure it out, he said. Come on, man. Let's try. I stared at the blank screen. If we fail? Then we try again, he said. But we won't fail. So we built it, slowly, painfully, line by line. I wrote code between classes. He handled the design. You messed up this part, he'd say. I know, I'd reply. You want a break? No. Keep going. He'd grin. You're intense. And you talk too much, I'd say, punching his shoulder. When we finally launched the app, 8 people downloaded it. 8, I muttered. Caleb raised his hands. Hey, that's 8 more than 0. We need hundreds. We'll get there, he said. Relax. I don't know how to relax. Clearly. Word spread slowly. Students shared the app, then teachers. One afternoon Caleb burst into my dorm yelling, "Dude. We hit 1,000 users." I sat up. No way. Check your stats. I checked. Holy, we actually did. He laughed. Told you we'd get there. I rubbed my eyes. This can't be real. It is, he said. And we're not stopping. My dad texted me around that time. Hope you're doing okay. I stared at the screen before replying, I'm fine. He wrote, proud of you. I didn't answer. Caleb asked, your dad again? Yeah. What does he want? I don't know, I said. But it's too late. Linda never called, never wrote. Better that way, Caleb said. Maybe, I replied. But it still hurts. He looked at me. Then use it. Turn it into fuel. I already am, I said. By junior year, our tiny project started catching attention. One evening, a man at a tech fair approached us. Are you two the creators? Caleb elbowed me. Yes, sir. We are. The man studied us. Your idea has potential. Keep improving it. When he walked away, Caleb whispered, investors, man. Investors. I forced a breath. Don't jinx it. No jinx, he said. Just facts. Later that week, I got another text from Dad. Saw your project online. Impressive. Caleb glanced at me. You gonna respond? No. You sure? He didn't defend me when it mattered. Caleb nodded. Fair enough. As our app grew, news of my stepfamily reached me in pieces. A classmate from my old town said, hey, didn't you used to live near Liam Hale? Yeah, I said carefully. Why? He got expelled. Something about fights. Oh, I said. Guess things happen. Didn't know you two were related, he added. We're not, I said. Not really. A week later, Caleb walked into my room holding his phone. Dude, Ava got arrested. I froze. For what? Shoplifting. A whole bag of stuff. I closed my eyes. Okay. You okay? He asked. I don't know how to feel, I said. He sat beside me. You don't have to enjoy it. But you're allowed to feel whatever you feel. I don't want their pain, I said softly. I know, he replied. But karma doesn't ask for permission. I lay back on my bed. It's weird. They destroyed me. Now everything's falling apart for them. Caleb looked at me. That's not on you. That's on them. I guess. No guessing. They made their choices. Our app kept climbing. Every night, more downloads. Every week, more emails. One night I whispered, we might actually make it. Caleb grinned. We will. Told you. Maybe I'm not as broken as I thought, I said. You were never broken, he replied. Just pushed too far. I stared at the glowing screen, watching our numbers rise. My rise began in silence, I whispered. And none of them saw it coming. Caleb bumped my shoulder. Good. Let them watch from the sidelines. I nodded. This time, I write my own future. When our app went viral, Caleb burst into my office yelling, Ethan. We just hit 1 million users. I spun around. You're joking. Check the dashboard, he said. Go on. I refreshed the page and stared. No way, this is real. He grabbed my shoulders. We did it, man. We actually did it. Before I could react, my email pinged nonstop, partnership requests, interview invitations, investor introductions. Caleb whistled. Welcome to the big leagues. I exhaled. I don't know if I'm ready for this. You are, he said. You've been ready since the day you left that house. 2 days later a man in a gray suit walked in. You must be Ethan, he said. I am, I replied. And you are? Mason Brooks, he said, shaking my hand. I'm here about the HR director position. Caleb whispered, this guy's a legend. Don't screw it up. I elbowed him back and said, please, sit. Mason studied our setup. You two built this from scratch? Yeah, I said. College dorms, borrowed laptops, a lot of caffeine. He smiled. Impressive. But with growth this fast, you'll need structure. Real structure. That's why we want you, Caleb said. I nodded. We need someone who knows how to handle people. And crises, Mason added. Because they're coming. I swallowed. Think you can guide us? He leaned back. If you're willing to listen. By the end of the interview, Caleb texted me under the table, hire him now. I looked at Mason. You're hired. He stood. Then let's build something that lasts. The next month was chaos, good chaos. Investors poured in. Our headquarters expanded. Interview after interview painted me as one of the youngest CEOs in the state. Caleb teased, "Look at you, Mr. CEO." I groaned. "Don't start." "Come on," he said. "You've earned it." Mason stepped into my office. "Ethan, you have a board meeting at 3. I blinked. "A board meeting? Me?" He smirked. "Yes, you. Welcome to leadership." I was adjusting to my new life when my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. "Hello Ethan, it's Linda. Just checking in. Hope you're well." My stomach tightened. Caleb noticed. "What's wrong?" "It's her," I said. His face darkened. "What does she want?" "She says she's checking in." He scoffed. "Yeah, right. Ignore her." "I plan to." "Good," he said. "She doesn't get access to this version of you." I left the message unread. For the first time, ignoring her felt like freedom. 3 days passed before Mason entered my office and said, "There's a woman waiting downstairs. Says she knows you." "A name?" I asked. "Linda Hale." My breath caught. "She came here?" "She says it's urgent," Mason replied. "Should I send her away?" I hesitated. "No. I'll handle it." Caleb grabbed my arm. "Are you sure?" "Yeah," I said. "But I won't give her what she wants." I took the elevator down. The moment the doors opened, I saw her, dressed nicely, hair done, standing like she owned the place. "There you are," she said, smiling too wide. "I've been waiting." I stopped several feet away. "Why are you here?" She tilted her head. "Is that how you greet family?" "I don't have family who shows up only when I'm successful." She flinched but kept smiling. "I just wanted to see you. You've grown so much. Your success, well, it's a blessing for the whole family." I stared at her. "My success is mine." "Don't say that," she said quickly. "We supported you." I laughed once. "You kicked me out." She waved a hand. "You were emotional. You misunderstood." "No," I said. "I understood perfectly." She stepped closer. "Ethan, listen. I came to make peace. You came because you need something." Her smile faded. "Is that what you think of me?" "Yes." Behind her, Mason and Caleb watched from the desk area, ready if I needed them. Linda reached for my arm. "Can we talk somewhere private?" "No," I said. "We're done talking." She blinked fast. "Ethan, please." I stepped around her. "Enjoy the view on your way out." She called after me, "You can't turn your back on us." I didn't stop walking. When I reached the elevator, Caleb whispered, "How do you feel?" I pressed the button. "Like today was the day they finally needed me," I said. And I didn't need them. I was in my office when Caleb walked in holding his phone like it was burning his hand. "Ethan," he said, "you need to see this." I sighed. "What now? Another investor email?" "No," he said. "It's about your dad." My stomach tightened. "What happened?" "He left her," Caleb said. "Packed his things and moved out." I stared at him. "You're serious?" "Yeah. Apparently he found out she lied about bills, credit cards, everything." I leaned back. "So the truth finally caught up." Caleb nodded. "Seems like it." Before I could react, Mason stepped in and said, "Sorry to interrupt. But you two might want to know, your stepbrother dropped out of school." I blinked. "Liam?" "Yes," Mason said. "Got into trouble again." Caleb muttered, "Man, that whole house is falling apart." I rubbed my forehead. "It's not my problem." "Never said it was," Caleb replied. "Just, a lot happening." Later that afternoon, during a meeting, my phone buzzed nonstop. When I finally checked it, I froze. Caleb whispered, "What's wrong?" "It's her," I said. "Linda called 5 times." He scoffed. "Now she suddenly remembers you exist?" "She never forgets when she needs something," I muttered. An hour later, she called again. Against my better judgment, I answered. "Ethan," she said immediately, "thank God you picked up." I kept my voice flat. "What do you want?" She sniffed like she'd been crying. "I've been going through a hard time. Your father walked out. The kids are acting out. And I lost my job." "That's unfortunate," I said. "But it's not my concern." She gasped. "How can you say that? I raised you." I laughed once. "You kicked me out. Remember? That was years ago," she said. "You're still my son." "No," I replied. "I was convenient until I wasn't." She tried again. "Ethan, listen. I'm drowning. Debt collectors are calling every day. Liam won't help, Ava barely speaks to me. You're the only one who can support me right now." "Support you?" I said. "With what? Money you stole from me." She snapped, "Stop bringing that up. You're successful now." "And whose fault is that?" I said. "Yours?" Because you taught me how to survive without anyone. She hesitated. I pushed you because I believed in you. That's a lie, I said. You pushed me out because you didn't want me there. Her voice hardened. If you turn your back on me, you'll regret it. No, I said. I regretted trusting you. Never again. You're being cruel, she said. No, I replied. I'm being honest. There was silence, then a sob. Ethan, please. I felt nothing. Goodbye, Linda. When I hung up, Caleb asked, everything okay? I don't know, I said. But I didn't break. That evening, my dad sent a text. I left the house. I couldn't stay there anymore. I replied, I hope you find peace. He wrote, I'm sorry, son. I stared at the screen before typing, I know. Caleb leaned over my shoulder. Progress? Maybe, I said. Later that night, Caleb ordered takeout and dropped it on my desk. Eat, he said. I'm fine, I answered. You look like someone dropped a truck on you. I sighed. She said I owe her because she raised me. He snorted. She didn't raise you. She terrorized you. She kept twisting everything, I said. Like always. But you didn't fold, he said. That's huge. I stared at him. Did I do the right thing? Absolutely, he replied. You didn't hurt her. You just didn't let her use you. I leaned back. Her whole world is falling apart. And? Caleb asked. And I'm not celebrating, but I'm not sad either. That's okay, he said. You're human. I walked to the window and looked at the city lights. I used to think she controlled everything, I said. Not anymore, he replied. Yeah, I whispered. Not anymore. Mason knocked on the door. Sorry, he said, but I overheard a little. You handled yourself well today. Did I? Yes, Mason said. Leadership isn't just about running a company. It's about knowing when not to carry someone else's chaos. I nodded slowly. That makes sense. It does, he said. You didn't abandon her. She abandoned you years ago. After he left, Caleb stretched and said, so what now? I live my life, I said. And she lives hers. Good, he replied. Because you're not that scared kid anymore. I turned toward him. You're right, I said. I survived her. I sat down, feeling something I hadn't felt in years, not victory, but clarity. Her fall wasn't mine. It never was. I was reviewing contracts when Mason knocked on my door. Ethan, he said, you need to see this. I looked up. What is it? Another applicant? He stepped inside and held out a resume. Yes. But you should read the name. I took it, skimmed the top line, and froze. Linda Hale. Mason raised a brow. I assume that means something to you. I swallowed. She's my stepmother. His eyes widened. She applied without knowing who runs the company? Looks like it, I said. What position? Entry-level admin, he replied. Interview is in 10 minutes. I exhaled slowly. Bring her in. I'll handle it. You're sure? He asked. Yes, I said. I'm done running from the past. When Mason left, Caleb poked his head in. Dude, is it true? She applied here? Yeah, I said. She's coming up. He stepped inside. You good? I don't know, I admitted. But I'm not scared. That's new, he said. I smirked. Yeah, it is. A knock sounded. Mason opened the door and said, Ms. Hale, right this way. She walked in confidently at first, holding a folder. But when her eyes met mine, she stopped cold. You, she whispered. Have a seat, I said calmly. She looked at Mason. This is the CEO? Yes, Mason said. Ethan is the founder. Her face went pale. She sat slowly. I didn't know. I figured, I said. She cleared her throat. You look different. I grew up, I replied. It happens when you're pushed out of your home. She winced. Ethan, please. I didn't come here to fight. Then why are you here? I asked. She straightened the papers in her folder. I just need a job. Nothing more. And you thought coming here would help you? She tried a smile. Maybe it's fate. I shook my head. No. It's consequences. She shifted in her seat. I've changed. People usually change before losing everything, I said. Not after. She sighed. I know you're angry. Angry? I said. I'm not angry. I'm done. That night, I was stressed, she said quickly. I said things I didn't mean. You told me I wasn't your real child, I said. You meant it. Her mouth trembled. I was wrong. You were cruel, I corrected. She leaned forward. Ethan, I need this job. I raised a brow. Why here? Why not anywhere else? Her voice cracked. Because no one else will consider me. My record is complicated. I stared at her. My problem how? I'm desperate, she whispered. Please. Caleb folded his arms. Funny how she's desperate now. Linda shot him a glare. This is between me and Ethan. I shook my head. No. You lost the right to talk to me like that. She looked down. I'm sorry. I took a breath. Let me ask you something. Do you remember the night you took my college fund? Her shoulders tightened. Ethan, do you remember telling me to learn sacrifice because I wasn't really your son? She closed her eyes. I shouldn't have said that. But you did, I replied. And you didn't care then. I care now, she whispered. No, I said. You need now. Silence filled the room. Mason finally said, should I continue the interview? I shook my head. No. I've heard enough. Linda's eyes widened. Ethan, please. Don't do this. I'm not doing anything, I said. You made choices. These are the results. She reached out a hand. Just give me a chance. You had one, I said. You threw me out. Tears welled in her eyes. I was trying to protect my family. I was part of that family, I said. She whispered, I know that now. It's too late, I said. I don't trust you near anything I built. She broke then, finally understanding. Where am I supposed to go? I don't know, I said. But not here. Mason stood. Ms. Hale, I'll walk you out. She didn't move at first, then rose slowly. I never thought I'd need you, she said. I nodded. That's the difference between us. I learned to survive alone. She whispered, I'm sorry. I hope you mean that, I said. Goodbye, Linda. She followed Mason to the door. Caleb let out a breath. Dude, that was intense. Yeah, I said quietly. You okay? I think so, I replied. I finally faced her. Caleb smiled. And she wasn't bigger than you anymore. No, I said. She never was. I sat alone in my office after Linda left, staring at the door she'd walked through. Caleb leaned on the wall and said, so, what now? I don't know, I said. Part of me wants to punish her. Yeah, I get that, he replied. She deserves it. But another part of me, I sighed. Another part of me is tired of carrying her in my head. Caleb stepped closer. Then don't carry her. Just make a choice that's yours. Before I could answer, Mason knocked and entered. Ethan, he said, she's asking for a second chance at the interview. She says she didn't finish. I rubbed my forehead. Fine. Bring her back in. When Linda walked in again, her eyes were red. Ethan, thank you for letting me continue. I'm letting you talk, I said. Nothing more. She sat down carefully. I know you think the worst of me. But I've changed. I kept my voice steady. You said that earlier. And it's true, she insisted. Life humbled me. I'm not the woman you knew. I folded my hands. So tell me, why should I hire you? She swallowed. Because I need stability. I need a fresh start. You could get that anywhere, I said. But I want it here, she replied. With you. I shook my head. That's not an answer. She breathed shakily. I know I hurt you. I know I failed you. But I thought you might give me a chance to be better. I stared at her. You didn't give me a chance to be anything. That was different, she whispered. No, I said. It wasn't. She leaned forward. I'm asking for forgiveness. That's not what this is, I said. This is you asking for money. She froze. That's not fair. It's honest, I replied. She looked down at her resume. I'm willing to start at the bottom. I'll work hard. It's not about hard work, I said. It's about trust. She whispered, then teach me how to earn it. I'm not your teacher, I said. I'm not your son. I'm not your safety net. Her voice cracked. Please, Ethan. I'm begging. I stood slowly. I didn't bring you in here to humiliate you. I let you speak because I needed to know where I stood. And where do you stand? She asked. Far away from who I used to be, I said. She reached toward me. Just say yes. Please. No, I said. I won't hire you. She gasped. Ethan. You need to fix your life without stepping on anyone else, I said. Because that's what you did to me. Tears rolled down her face. I had no one else to lean on. You had me once, I said. You threw me out. I was wrong, she cried. And now you're facing the consequences, I said calmly. We all do. She grabbed the edge of my desk like she might collapse. Don't abandon me. I'm not abandoning you, I said. You abandoned me years ago. I'm just choosing myself now. She whispered, you're being cruel. No, I replied. I'm choosing peace. I stepped around my chair. The interview is over. She shook her head desperately. Please, Ethan. Don't leave. But I walked to the door. Good luck, Linda. She begged again, but I didn't turn around. Outside the office, Caleb waited with crossed arms. So? I said no, I answered. He nodded. Good. I didn't yell, I said. I didn't insult her. That's even better, he replied. I sank into a chair in the hallway. Why does choosing the right thing feel so heavy? Because you're human, he said. And because endings hurt, even bad ones. I rubbed my face. Part of me wanted revenge. But you didn't take it, he said. You took control. I guess. No guessing, he replied. You chose the higher road. I looked at him. Higher road? Really? He smiled. Hey, someone's gotta say it. I let out a breath. I just didn't want to become like her. And you didn't, he said. You became the opposite. I stood up slowly. So this is it? She's out of my life for good? Caleb shrugged. Maybe. Maybe not. But you're not afraid of her anymore. I nodded. No, I'm not. We walked back toward my office. Caleb said, You made the choice that helped you sleep tonight. Did I? I asked. He nodded. You will. Trust me. I looked at the glass doors, the company logo shining faintly. My choice, I whispered. Not my revenge. Exactly, he said. And for the first time, I believed it. The weeks that followed felt unreal. Every morning I walked into the office and heard employees laughing, typing, planning things I once only dreamed about. Caleb would pat my shoulder and say, Look at this place, man. You built all of it. I built it with you, I always said. He grinned. Fine. We built it. But still, wild, right? Yeah, I admitted. It really is. One quiet afternoon, Mason knocked on my door. Ethan, your father is here. I froze. My dad? Yes, Mason said gently. He asked if he could see you. Caleb whispered, You want me to stay? I shook my head. No. I'll handle it. He squeezed my arm. If you need me, yell. Thanks, I said. I'll be okay. Dad stepped into the office slowly, looking smaller than I remembered. Ethan, he said, voice unsteady, you look grown. I had to grow, I replied. He nodded. I deserve that. We sat across from each other, silence stretching. Dad finally spoke. I'm sorry for not standing up for you. I should have protected you. You should have, I said. But you didn't. He lowered his head. I know. And I live with that every day. I sighed. Why are you here now? To fix things, he said. If you'll let me. Fixing takes time, I said. I have time, he whispered. Whatever you'll give. I studied him. His eyes weren't defensive or proud. Just tired. I'm willing to try, I said. But slowly. Relief washed over his face. Thank you, son. That word means something, I said. Don't use it lightly. He nodded. I won't. Not again. After he left, Caleb slipped in and asked, So? We're rebuilding, I said. Brick by brick. He smiled. You're stronger than you think. Maybe, I said. Or maybe I'm just tired of carrying anger. Either way, he said, it suits you. Later that night, my phone buzzed with a name I didn't expect to see again, Linda Hale. The message was short. I'm sorry for everything. I hope you can forgive me someday. Caleb saw my face. Is that her? Yeah. What did she say? Nothing new, I said. You gonna respond? He asked. No. Good, he muttered. But, I added, I can forgive her silently. He frowned. Seriously? Not for her sake, I said. For mine. Caleb let out a breath. You're really evolving, man. I laughed softly. Maybe. The next morning, Mason approached me with a folder. We closed the new deal, he said. Investors are thrilled. That's good, I replied. He studied me. You seem lighter today. I think I am, I said. Letting go does that, he replied. Maybe, I said. Or maybe I'm finally becoming myself. You always were, Mason said. You just stopped hiding it. In the afternoon, I walked through the office, listening to employees greet me. Morning, Ethan. Great job on the expansion plan. Proud to be part of this team. Every voice felt like a new piece of my life, replacing old ones I never asked for. Caleb jogged up beside me. You want coffee? Yeah, I said. Let's take a break. We stepped outside into the sunlight. The building looked enormous from the sidewalk, glass shining like it owned the sky. Caleb nudged me. Crazy, huh? What? That you made it this far, he said. I smiled. It still feels unreal. You earned it, he said. Every inch. Maybe, I said. But I didn't do it alone. He placed a hand on my shoulder. No, but you were the engine. We stood in front of the company logo, my company. The one I built from scraps and late nights and a heart that refused to quit. Caleb asked, "What are you thinking?" "That I'm finally free," I said. He nodded. "Yeah. You are." My phone buzzed again, another text from Dad. "Dinner sometime?" "No pressure." I typed back, "Yeah. Soon." Caleb peeked over. "Progress?" "Actually, yeah," I said. Then another message appeared, but not from Dad. "Thank you for reading my message, even if you don't respond." Caleb groaned. "Seriously? She's still trying?" I locked my phone. "She can try all she wants." "You sure you don't want to block her?" he asked. "No," I said. "She doesn't control me anymore. Her messages don't either." He smirked. "That's power." "That's peace," I corrected. We started walking back toward the building. Caleb said, "So what now?" "I move forward," I replied. "You walk your own road," he said. I smiled. "Exactly." When we reached the door, I paused. The city stretched out in front of me, full of noise, lights, and opportunity. Caleb asked, "You okay?" "I am," I said. "For the first time, I really am." I stepped aside and looked up at the building again. "My past doesn't get to pick my future," I whispered. "And your future?" Caleb asked. "It's mine," I said. "Only mine." He opened the door for me. "Ready to get back to work?" "More than ever," I said. Before I walked inside, I took one last breath of the open air, letting every scar, every memory, every old chain fall off me. "I walk my own road now," I whispered to myself. And I stepped forward without looking back.